terrifying when the earthquake happened, and I saw that all people in our neighborhood was going out throughout the city. You know, everyone was terrifying. It was really a terrible moment to talk about. And I would like to say that even in after 1 hour of that earthquake that happened, I can still hear the ambulances going around the city because as there are some numbers by the police and the health by the health centers have been released. There are about 50 to 100 people have been injured because of that earthquake, and I have seen pictures of some of the houses and were demolished because of that earthquake. And the earthquake has happened in the border of Kurdistan or Iraq with Iran in the Halabja city, but it was felt in Sulaymaniyah, in Rania, in Erbil, even in Kirkuk, and there are, even in the southern part of Iraq. And it was one of the severe earthquakes in the last few years. In the last few months, there were some earthquakes in the northern of Iraq, in the city of Rania, but that one in Suleimani was one of the strongest earthquakes that we have seen in that city in the last few years.
Well, so Sulaymaniyah is close to the epicenter of this earthquake. Tell us a bit about the area, the geography. Is it closely populated, or is it mostly mountains or farmland? I mean, what kind of damage are we likely to see?
Yeah, this area, like Sulaymaniyah and Halabja, they are populated areas, and inside Sulaymaniyah, the population is about 1 million, and in Halabja, it is about like 400,000 or to 700, around that number. And the topography of that area is mostly mountain. That's why it is in the last few years, especially like 7 years ago, there were many earthquakes was happening in these areas. But as far as I've seen and I've heard in the local media, the most affected area was Darbandi Khan, which is between Halabja and Sulaymaniyah. So that area was mostly affected, and only in that small town, which is the population is just about like 100,000, 50 people were injured, and the numbers of Suleimani has not been released yet. So I expect that maybe there are about 200 to 500 people injured because of that earthquake. And I've heard from some of the witnesses that in a neighborhood in Suleimania, a house is demolished and one of their children is still missing, and they are searching for that children. That was one of the saddest stories to hear in the last hour.
Indeed, Koshan, can you describe to us how are people reacting? Is there a sense of panic at all? And how are the official bodies, the government bodies, the medical facilities, how are they responding to what's happened?
Yeah, at first it was really difficult, especially in the first 10 to 20 minutes. Everyone was outside, and we were in the neighborhoods, in our neighborhood, and other people were also outside. It was really difficult to talk about that time. But the medical facilities, I think they are working to find where are the like injuries and find out what's happening throughout the city, because it was something that was, as you can see, it's not expected, and most of the houses here in Kurdistan are not like built in a way that could protect themselves from the earthquakes, and they have not a good quality. That's why most of you can see the crashes in some of the houses in Kurdistan. But the story that I have heard, like that family, their children is still missing. That was one of the saddest. And the number for the injuries in Darbandi Khan, that small city, is also really terrible to hear that. But as I said, the numbers for Sulaymaniyah is still not released. But I expect that maybe 200 people were injured in Sulaymaniyah.